What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex League. We got the co-host, Amanda, ready to talk some football. Are you excited?
Absolutely. And y'all will have to forgive us for no video this week. I am on a weekend away and the recording setup was not ideal. So we're just doing audio this week, but you'll get to see our beautiful faces again when we do our recap episode.
Yeah, absolutely. We're making it work. We're doing what we got to do, but the the content's going to be fire as always. Let's talk about Thursday night, Amanda, the 49ers and the Rams. This was a great game. And it was practically a home game for the 49ers. I don't know why Rams fans don't really show up. There was so much red in that crowd.
Yeah, I don't, it was kind of weird. I was expecting it to be more, I don't more of a home presence. Like they're having a good season. You would think they'd be a little more supportive, but I don't know. It was
Yeah, they won the
interesting.
Super Bowl just a couple years ago, but
I just
I
feel
don't
like
know.
some of those Southern California teams, there's just so much other stuff to do in Southern California. Like they have a hard time being present for their teams. I noticed that when I was living in San Diego with the Chargers. Like they were upset that the team was leaving, but the stadium was only ever like 50% filled.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing with like Miami. If it's a super nice area, it's like, oh, we'd rather do something else. But
Oh, I'm out on my boat today. Can't make it to the game.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why
but
teams in cold weather areas do so well. Because like, what the fuck else are you gonna do in Green Bay in December?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. But those who did go to this game got to see a great one. I think part of the reason is with all the 49er injuries and everything, people didn't really expect this to be that good of a game, but it was actually awesome. Me, you, and Abe all picked the Rams, but this game was a lot more competitive than we thought with all the 49er injuries.
mhm.
Um, 49ers jump out to a 14 nothing lead. Rams tie the game late at 20 all. The Niners win 26 to 23 in overtime. What did you think
So
yeah, go ahead. What did you think of this
I
game?
so first of all, this game would have been a tie, I think, if there hadn't been a tie this week already. I feel like they wouldn't have been going for it. Like they played to avoid a tie at the end there. Like
Yeah.
they weren't going to be content with a tie. Like there was already one. I feel like if there hadn't been one this week, this probably would have ended up a tie, but they were not having that. But I mean the 49ers have, like I said, they're so used to having so many injuries that their
Yeah.
next man up method is like just regular. Oh, it's a regular Tuesday. Somebody else is injured, like next man up. They're so good at that and playing over injuries and covering. But I feel like beyond the 49ers having a good game, the Rams just kind of boned themselves in this one. Like you look at all the mistakes throughout the
Yeah.
game here. I mean, Kyron Williams fumbling on the 1 yard line. Like, did he get
So
punched in
much.
the face? Yes.
Yeah.
Should there have been a penalty? Maybe, but there were so many other little things too that the Rams kind of like handed this one away quite a few times to the 49ers.
Yeah, absolutely. The fumble at the one, you had drops, you had missed kicks, the turnover on downs late. The Rams just, at some point, you make enough mistakes, you're not going to be able to overcome it. Um, Sean McVay, I kind of get the mentality of going for it, trying to get the win, but if you don't get it in that situation, then the game's over. And so that was the risk, and it backfired. That was a great stop by the 49ers, though.
Yeah, fantastic stop by them. They played some great defense in this one. Um, and I mean, look at the stats across the board. Christian McCaffrey, 139 yards combined, touchdown for him. Bourne's been playing completely lights out. I mean, this was his career high game, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's had 10 catches before, but this was the most yards. I
For
mean, only
yardage,
the
yeah,
second.
142. I wasn't sure if it
Yeah,
was both catches and yards, but amazing game for him. Great kicking for them as well. Pinheiro
yeah.
went 6 for 6 with extra points and field goals.
It was funny. Did you hear Al Michaels reference saying, maybe we have a quarterback battle here in San Francisco? Mac Jones is now 3-0 as the starter. I mean, if you go back to when they were drafted, everyone thought the combination of Kyle Shanahan and Mac Jones was the perfect fit. now you get him coming in. I wonder, he's 3-0. I mean, you can't argue with that, you know?
Yeah, it's working out well. And Mac Jones was looking real spicy there. That little like shoulder shimmy shrug that he did, like he's revved up. He's ready to go. He's been fun to
Yeah,
watch.
just pounding bananas on the sideline
I
and
love
getting it
that
out.
they just like were like, yeah, he had 11. And then he was like, what? No, I had like three. Like, where did 11 come from? I want to know who is out here starting conspiracy theories about the number of bananas Mac Jones consumes during a football game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like,
Um,
what a weird thing to make up.
Puka Nakua, you talked about him last week, about how great he's doing, and he had another 10 catches in this game, and he becomes the first player in NFL history with 50 catches through the first 5 games of a season. That's incredible.
He's so insanely good.
Yeah,
What's so
and
funny is like, how do you have Puka and Devontae on the same team? Like, that's just gnarly. How do you have that and then your offense doesn't just win? Like, ugh.
yeah, insane. And yeah, Puka's on pace to break Calvin Johnson's record for receiving yards in a season. So we'll see if he can do that. It's interesting how Matthew Stafford's been the quarterback with Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp, and now Puka Nakua, like record-setting seasons. You know?
Record-setting seasons. And I know as an NFC North fan, we're just gonna hate on Matt Stafford forever, just a little bit out of habit
Yeah,
because I mean, he played for Detroit. Like it's just bred into our brains to hate on him. But being the quarterback to throw those record-breaking seasons over and over, different teams, different players, different cities, like that's crazy. Like he
yeah,
is like him and Philip Rivers, like their careers are so interesting when you look at like how long they played and how many records they broke and just like ridiculous seasons they've had versus like how many Super Bowl wins they have.
yeah. And it took Stafford going to the Rams, teaming up with McVay to get his first and finally get one. So, um,
I'm
even
glad
as
he
old
got
as
one
he
though. He
is,
deserved one for sure.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the 49ers just keep winning with all these injuries. Next man up, they improved to 4-1, and they play at the Bucks in week 6. We'll see if the 49ers can keep this going. Maybe they get healthier later in the season. I mean, I don't know how they keep doing it, but they keep winning.
It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see like when the team comes back, do they actually just get worse? Like,
I don't know. It's just crazy because they had so many receivers out,
yeah.
and I
To
had never
still
heard
have
of
a
Jake.
productive offense being down that many starters. It's 27 players that they have injured that are starters.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and the Patriots cut
Incredible
Kendrick Bourne.
coaching.
Yeah, Patriots cut Kendrick Bourne. He wasn't even, couldn't even get anything back in a trade for him. I'd never heard of Jake Tungus before. So,
Mm.
um,
Shout out to the coaching and training staffs because clearly they are developing some fantastic players to step in when it needs to be done.
yeah, absolutely.
So
So,
starting the week off 0 and 1. Don't love that, but I'm intrigued to see how the rest of our picks play out this weekend.
yeah, this is a tough week. There's a lot of interesting games, and so let's get into that. I'm interested to see where you go on some of these picks as well. The 2-2 Vikings and the 1-3 Browns in London. Dylan Gabriel getting his first career start for Cleveland instead of Joe Flacco. And what is in the back of my mind is the spark that Jackson Dart provided for the Giants. I'm wondering if Dylan Gabriel can do the same thing for Cleveland in this game, you know?
It is absolutely crazy to come into the NFL and have your first career start be in a different country.
Yeah, that is.
Like, oh, cool, parents, come to my first start. It's in the UK. I think
And
he's the first person to have their first start in an international game because they haven't been going on that long. But I'm expecting them to take full advantage of how mobile and accurate we know he is. Like based on his college play and stuff, like that boy can get rolling. So I expect them to take full advantage of that. So I'll be intrigued to see how the Minnesota defense reacts to his play style.
Yeah, like he's not Lamar Jackson, but he's also a lot more athletic and mobile than Joe Flacco. So it's going to
Mhm.
be a big upgrade there, similar to Jackson Dart in New York. And then the Vikings are injury hit. They're down three starting offensive linemen. No Andrew Van Ginkel once again. So that's,
Well, and
you
their
know, that's going to
center,
be,
their backup center is injured. Like they're
wow.
onto a third string center at this point. Like that sucks.
Yeah. And two great defensive coordinators going at it. Jim Schwartz against Brian Flores. It's not going to be easy for either of these offenses. But in my opinion, Carson Wentz, I don't trust Carson Wentz with a banged up offensive line and the number one defense in football, Myles Garrett, Mason Graham, those guys, I feel like they're going to make his life hell. And Carson Wentz has, you know, a history of some bad turnovers, and that could be the
Mhm.
difference maker, in my opinion. What do you think?
I agree. And like we've seen a rough start for him kind of coming into this season. Like his play so far has been a little questionable. And then with all the injuries, I mean, looking at this O line, we've got number three under center. I mean, I haven't seen an official announcement on Jurgens yet, because I'm out of the
No,
loop,
yeah,
but maybe third string center, number three left guard, number two right tackle against this defense that leads the NFL in pass rush win rate and run stop win rate. I think we're going to see some turnovers in this one. And I just, I feel like he's going to spend some time on the ground with the O line so injury hit.
yeah. It's a tough pick because the Vikings are. I mean, I don't know. You could go either way, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
go with the Browns here. Another thing that goes in favor of the Vikings, though, is that they've been uh, out of the United States for 2 weeks now, so maybe they're more accustomed, like their bodies have caught up to being
Hmm.
overseas. So maybe they'll be a little bit more, rested and ready to play this game. But I gotta go with Cleveland here.
It'll be interesting to see if Cleveland can have a good offensive game. I mean, they're 17 points or less in nine straight games dating back to last season, which is the longest streak in franchise history for them. But then you look at the Vikings on offense over here. We've got Jordan Mason, who's had 16 or more touches in back-to-back games with Aaron Jones out. So a lot of heavy usage there. It's been very successful. But with that O line, like maybe maybe it'll look a little different play-wise with them. And then this Browns defensive front, I mean, they handled Josh Jacobs. They handled Derrick Henry. So they
Yeah.
can't even turn to the running game here. So I feel like Cleveland has the advantage. But the NFL has been so weird this season that I don't know if that's going to be accurate. Maybe Minnesota will blow them out because they've been, in the UK for an extra week. I have no idea, but I feel like I gotta roll with the stronger defense here.
Okay, so we agree on the Browns.
Yeah.
All right. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna be interested. I'm gonna be getting up early to watch this game, and yeah, I don't really know what to expect. So, but I'm gonna go with the Browns as well. So we agree on the first game this week.
Also, how
Um,
much more rookie magic is left in the NFL's pot this season? I think Jackson Dart might have used it all up. We'll see if Dylan Gabriel's got some of that left in him.
yeah, watch Dylan Gabriel come out and throw like 5 picks or something.
Yeah, like I'm like we've been real successful with our baby QBs. I don't know if that streak is going to keep going or not.
Um, let's go 1-3 Raiders at the 3-1 Colts. Indy coming off a loss that they've got to be pissed off about. You know, if AD Mitchell doesn't completely, blow it, I think they beat the Rams last week. So I think they're going to be pissed off and ready to go, feeling like they should be undefeated still. The Raiders are coming in, Geno Smith leading the league in interceptions. Brock Bowers might miss this game. So I'm leaning Colts at home. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like the issues the Colts had last week have to have been corrected this week. I think no one took those mistakes and didn't address them in this past week. And then the Raiders, I mean, their O-line had a great performance last week, but
Yeah.
now like they held so well for Ashton Genty to have his pop off game, which I had predicted. I had seen it coming. But now we've got left tackle Colton Miller out with a high ankle sprain. And
Yeah.
looking at Geno Smith's play and his decision making and his like we've seen a couple of plays where he literally just looks up and throws the ball towards the end zone. Like he isn't even looking down the field. He's looking straight up into the lights. Like I am unsure what's going on with him, but I cannot pick a quarterback who isn't even looking towards the end zone when throwing a potential touchdown. Like I'm sorry, Gino, I can't support you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's hard to pick the Raiders right now. The only positive is Ashton Genty finding his game. Hopefully he can do that 2 weeks in a row. But the Colts have Jonathan Taylor who can match him. So
hmm
I gotta go Colts at home. I think we agree on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Warren's been looking amazing, leading all tight ends in the league in receiving yards,
Yeah.
most for that position through 4 career games in the Super Bowl era. So he's having an amazing season. So I absolutely have to roll with the Colts here.
All right. So we agree on 2 out of 2. Let's go Giants. 1-3 Giants at the 0-4 Saints. You've got Jackson Dart looking for a second career win against Spencer Rattler looking for his first career win. Uh, he's 0-10, which is ridiculous. We'll see how the Giants look without Malik Neighbors. That's going to be an adjustment. How do you see this game going? Because the Saints played the Bills pretty tough last week, so maybe the Saints are a little more competitive than we think.
Um, I mean, yeah, I guess. This matchup has one win between the two teams going into week 5. Like there's 2 games this week where the combined win is one, and I am just well, I guess 1.5 because of Dallas. But um yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not excited about this one. Um the Giants pumping in crowd noise to make it more just more hype for Jackson Dart is crazy to me. Um and I mean, but they've been doing it so that he's prepared for his first road game, which I like, but I feel like you shouldn't need to do that. Like what year is it where we're pumping in crowd noise during practice? I don't know. Um, he looked great last week. He's played in a dome before. I don't think he's going to see this as any type of, unique, challenging situation. But this rookie magic, is it going to last for another week? I don't know.
Yeah, and the only thing about the Saints that's different or that stands out is Taysom Hill is going to make his season debut. He's been hurt to this point. We know how impactful Taysom Hill can be, but that being said, I got to go Giants here. What about you?
Yeah, I have to. I mean, Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill both returned to practice, but I didn't get the vibe that they were both playing this week.
Yeah.
So it's going to
Um,
be interesting to see how they play when they come back in. I think that'll be a great boost to their offense having, both tight ends back in the lineup. But I like the hype and I like the momentum that the Giants have. I mean, Scattaboo has been ridiculous. 181 yards rushing, 98 yards receiving through 4 games. Like he's having a hell of a season. I just that the hype is with the Giants. Um, I I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be competitive and scrappy because the Saints do not want to be 0-5. But I think I
yeah.
have to roll with the Giants here.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably going to be ugly and scrappy and but hard fought. But yeah, I got to go with the Giants. It just looked like such positive vibes with Jackson Dart
hmm
and Brian Dable after they get that win. So we'll both go with the Giants in New Orleans, and then the 1-2 Cowboys at the 0-4 Jets. Can the Jets get their first win of the season against Dallas? Cowboys are not a good defense. What do you think?
this is my other game I'm super duper excited about, a 1.5 win matchup here. Um,
It feels like a better game than that, though. They're more talented than their record indicates, I feel like.
I know. And the tie, like that was a ridiculous game. Like offensively, both offenses were firing. It was a fantastic game, like back and forth, but just like being 1-2-1 is just such a dismal start to the NFL season.
Yeah, that's a
And I
gross record.
Yeah, and then like their loss to the Bears this season, like that was depressing. And then I mean, it's an interesting week for me for Dallas because we've seen both sides of that coin. We have
Yeah.
seen no offense, terrible game, like no energy on the team, and then like one of the NFL games of the season, I would say, Green Bay and Dallas back and forth down to the line into overtime. Like, so I don't know which version of Dallas is going to show up this week. Um, I just want to see some consistency. And I know Schottenheimer said this week, he's like, we're judged on wins. We're not going to talk about the tie. I'd say consistency hasn't been there, and it's something we're working on. So I hope they maintain the energy and effort they put in like they did versus the Packers. But on the other side of the ball, look at the Jets. I mean, we've got Coach Aaron Glenn wearing a boxing glove during ball security drills to help them work on holding the ball and not letting it get punched out, which has been an issue for them all season. I mean, a league high 6 lost fumbles. So, I think it's a great way to emphasize holding onto the ball. But I I mean, God, can you imagine having their third 0-5 start in the past 3 decades?
Oh
Like
my God, the Jets
having that
just can't
hanging
catch a
over your
break.
head, I feel
Yeah.
like they're going to be pulling out all the stops to try to win this one. But they've allowed more than 25 points in every game this season.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a shootout. This is like a 34-30 or a 30 to
hmm
27 type of game.
I feel like Dallas is. Uh, I feel like they're going to take it just because I trust that offense more than the Jets offense, and then the Jets defense I think is gonna kick themselves after this one. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be rough.
This is a tough one. I'm actually kind of leaning Jets here right now because I feel like the Jets offense is going to play well. Justin Fields, despite how bad the Jets offense looked against Miami, Fields
He had
did
a
break
great
out.
game.
Yeah. And and so the Cowboys defense is notorious for allowing big plays and not
hmm
covering anybody downfield. You've got Garrett Wilson, you've got Brees Hall.
Oh, I love their running backs. They just haven't done enough. Like they have so much
Yeah.
talent at running back. I just haven't seen the games out of them that I want to. I don't know if it's play calling. I don't know if just the defensive fronts have been getting to them as much, but I want to see those running backs get going. My issue is here, can the Jets put up 40 points if Dallas does?
And I think they put up 37 and come up just short.
That's kind of my thoughts. Is I'm not someone who generally picks Dallas, but
Yeah.
I think I trust them a little bit more, even though they're on the road, even though I love the running back duo, and Justin Fields has been playing pretty well. I feel like I have to stick with Dallas on this one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it could be 40 to 34, 40 to 37 type game. Dak Prescott just looked so good on Sunday night. And
I will say though, we only have one game that I know of that we've picked differently. So if you want to hang with the Jets,
I might circle back to this one. As of
okay.
right now, I'm
I
gonna
was
pick
I
the
was just gonna point
Cowboys.
that out. If you're on the fence, it might be one that we might need to split up on.
Well, speaking of on the fence, how are we feeling about the 2-2 Broncos at the 4-0 Eagles? Denver coming off a blowout win against Cincinnati, a much needed win, and they looked good doing it. But here come the Eagles, who have yet to play their best football all season long, but they just find a way to keep winning football games. Can Denver go into Philly? Talk about a statement win if the Broncos could pull this off.
I I could see it happening. Like if
Yeah.
you look at like just Denver's strengths, like their defense, I mean, they've allowed a passer rating of 78.4, the sixth lowest in the NFL so far this season. They've got the best pressure rate. Like, and you look at this Eagles offense, which haven't hit 300 total yards in the past 3 weeks. They're producing less than 100 yards rushing in each of their past 2 games. Like, I I don't know. it would be a great game for that Denver defense to just come in firing on all cylinders. And if they can get that offense going, we've seen some big numbers out of this Denver offense. If they can have
Yeah.
one of those games where they're productive on both sides of the ball, I could see Denver pulling this off.
Well, plus they've got J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey going their running game, and A.J. Brown, being frustrated about not getting the ball enough. You wonder if does Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense make too much of an effort to get A.J. Brown going and
Yeah,
like
they just
start
focus on him
forcing
too
some
much.
balls. Yeah.
hmm I could see him throwing a pick or two here. And you look at that Denver defense, they've got some ball hawks. They will go after any errant throws. If they're trying to force the ball to AJ Brown too much, it could be dangerous.
Yeah. So, but that's the ultimate decision is it dangerous enough for you to pick the Broncos? I'm thinking I'm gonna stick with the Eagles. What about you?
I am so on the fence about this one. I feel like I trust the Eagles more. If it was in Denver, I think
Yeah.
I would be leaning that way. But I know we've seen this Eagles offense dig themselves into a hole multiple times this season, and they've snuck by and won some close ones. And I feel like it's going to be the same kind of game where they sneak out of a potential loss. But I would not be surprised if Denver pulled this off.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going Philly?
I got to go Philly because they're at home, but it's close.
Yeah, I agree. And this could be a game we're talking about where Denver gets the win, and we're like, we should
hmm
have picked it. We should have seen this coming.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know being 31st in passing is just gnawing at the Eagles, and I feel like they're gonna just be like, no, we'll just throw it deep. We got to make some deep plays, and I just can see some pick six vibes coming off of this one from a mile away.
yeah, and on top of that, the inability to get Saquon Barkley going yet this season too. It's
Mhm.
very frustrating.
It's
So
crazy though that they're still 4-0. Like they have all these
yeah,
issues. We could talk about their issues all day, but they're 4-0. So does it matter? Not yet.
yeah. I think we're gonna disagree on this one, and this is a tough pick. The 1-3 Dolphins at the 1-3 Panthers. Miami coming off their first win of the season, and they lost their star receiver Tyreek Hill in the process. Carolina, you don't know who they are week to week. They got a
I have
30
no
nothing
idea.
shutout, and then they get blown out by New England and allow 42 points. So, who is this Panthers team, and how do you see this game going?
Yeah, this one's a mess. I like the faith that the Dolphins have in Jalen Waddle.
Hmm.
Obviously he's their number one. Like moving forward, that's going to be his role, and they've got faith in him. I mean, he was their leading receiver as a rookie in 2021. And we know he can be productive. And I mean, they could go either way with him and Tyreek Hill both active. Like they're both so good. They both have great hands. They can come up with some ridiculous plays. But like you said, I don't know which version of Carolina's defense is coming this week.
Yeah.
Is it the one that played
Yeah.
Atlanta? Is it the one that
Huh?
played last week? Like if it's the defense that played Atlanta, then yeah, the Panthers can win this one for sure. But both of these teams are so inconsistent that I like just flip a coin for this one. I don't know.
For me, with no Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle needs to be the man. He needs to go off. But a real encouraging sign was Darren Waller catching two touchdown passes in his, in week 4, and they're going to need him to be impactful. If they can get that kind of impact out of Darren Waller, then maybe they can salvage this season a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean he did come up with some great plays. I feel like overall I have to go with Carolina here because when you look at these teams, they're both very similar. They're going to lose to better teams and probably beat lesser teams. But when they play each other, like I feel like could go either way. But my issue here is if you look at the Dolphins defense, their passer
Hmm.
rating allowed is the highest passer rating allowed in the NFL. So I just don't trust this defense as much as I trust Carolina's defense. Um, Carolina's not much better in run D, but as far as being able to cover the wide receivers to make it more difficult for Tua, who we know can throw a pick or two. Um,
Yeah.
I, f- I feel like I gotta stick with Carolina here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here on the road. I feel like they've been more competitive than people give them credit for. Since week one, they got blown out week one, but since then they've been in every single game. Um,
Yeah, but they let
and
Drake May put up a passer rating of 155.6. That was almost a perfect game for Drake May.
that's true. And they can't let Bryce Young, and we don't know who Bryce Young is yet. You know, he's
No.
up and down. But if Bryce Young goes off and puts up 30 plus, it's going to be hard to win that game. I think the key to the Dolphins' success is their running game. Devon
Mhm.
Achane, receiving and rushing, he's a major threat. And then rookie Ollie Gordon is coming on as well. Maybe the two running backs get going in this game. I got to go Dolphins in Charlotte.
Okay.
So this is our first disagreement.
It is. Except for you're
I
going to
can't
change to the
believe
Jets, so
I'm
it'll be our
riding
second.
with Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins, but it is what it is.
As long as we don't have to hear him in a post-game interview, he can do whatever he
Oh,
wants. I cannot stand his interviews.
who the is? How about the 1-3 Texans at the 1-3 Ravens? Baltimore is so injury hit. No Lamar Jackson, no Roquan Smith, no Kyle Hamilton, no Marlon Humphrey. I don't think Jair Alexander's playing. Like, who is playing for this Ravens team? And they've been so bad already as it is. I mean, I don't know how anyone can pick the Ravens here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like historically, the Texans have had major issues playing the Ravens. The Ravens are 13-2 against
Yep.
Houston, but this season is just so different. I mean, there was a blowout loss. This was one of the craziest scores, 31-2 last year on Christmas to Baltimore. Like, I mean, it's it's a completely different team though when you list all those injuries off. Like, I I know this Baltimore defense can be good when it's healthy, but six defensive starters with injuries is so hard to cover. Like, who are
Yeah.
they bringing in? Like guys off the street?
I have
And then
I have no idea. I mean, yeah, they're so decimated. The
and
only
I
good
mean
news,
they've let teams score 35 or more points in 3 out of their 4 games so far this season.
yeah, uh, yeah, the defense has been absolutely terrible. I think you got to move on from the defensive coordinator, and now without the captain and the leader of the defense, Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton, it's like, what are you going to turn to now? You know?
Yeah, and then you look at how good the Texans running back Woody Marks was on that matchup versus Tennessee, who is not a good run defense. He capitalized on that, and then you look at this Ravens defense; they've allowed the sixth most running yard or rushing yards to backs. So I feel like he's going to have another pop off week. So they might not even need CJ Stroud to have a good game.
The only thing that could save them is the Texans on up and down and kind of struggled so far this season.
Hmm.
So if the Ravens can find a way to put up enough points, Derrick Henry's playing. They're getting tight end Isaiah Likes and then Cooper Rush. Do you know Cooper Rush's record as a starter?
No,
In 14 starts, take a guess at what his record is.
uh, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, it's 9-5.
Okay. I know he had a good
So
run
can
when
Cooper Rush?
Dak Prescott was injured. He went what 4-1. So yeah, I mean
Yeah.
he's a great backup.
Can't do it again. They're at home. He's got Isaiah Likely, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. They got offense really shouldn't be a big issue. It's the defense we're worried about.
Yeah.
So
I
that
I
being said, are you taking the Ravens at home?
I think I'm gonna take the Texans. Like I I don't love their
Yeah.
defense if Lamar Jackson was playing. They're last in the NFL versus QB scrambles, but Lamar isn't playing. So, I mean, a healthy Baltimore team versus the Texans would have been fantastic here. But Cooper Rush is not a runner. He's
Yeah.
not a mobile quarterback.
Yep.
Do you know
And
how many
the
yards
Texans are the
Cooper
lowest.
Rush has rushed for?
Probably like 13.
51 yards over his 8-year backup career, over his 15 starts or 14 starts.
Yeah. The opposite of Lamar Jackson here.
So I feel like Lamar would have decimated this team on his feet, but I gotta take the Texans here, which feels insane. And I know it could be absolutely wrong. And if Baltimore just sorts out their injuries and has a good game, the Texans could get blown out. But I'm getting the vibes that the Texans pull this one off.
Me too, but it is scary that, I mean, I could see the Ravens finding a way to do. But it's impossible to pick the Ravens with all those injuries. So yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta go Texans as well. But all Cooper Rush does is win, so we'll see.
I mean, that's putting he's barely over 500. Let's not get carried away.
9-5 is pretty good.
It's not bad. It's hilarious, but his last name is Rush, and he cannot rush for shit though.
That's true. I'll
Unfortunate
agree
last
with you.
name.
I'll pick the
Okay.
Texans. Should be a Cooper pass or something.
Cooper, stand still.
Cooper statue.
Love it.
Um, 0-4 Titans at the 2-2 Cardinals. Tennessee just continues to look terrible. They got blown
Yep.
out 26 to nothing last week. Rookie
I'm
quarterback
sorry if
Cam Ward said, quote, what's that?
we asked. I was just gonna say, I'm sorry if your
Yeah,
starting quarterback
we
has not gone to media training to know better than publicly
yeah,
saying the team is ass. You have so many more
yeah.
issues. 1 week is not going to fix that. The Cardinals are going to run away with this one.
I agree. I got the Cardinals at home, and head coach Brian Callahan is officially on the hottest seat in the NFL right now. I'm surprised he wasn't fired after week 4, and maybe he'll be fired after this game. But his not knowing the rules, not challenging certain things, getting shut out against the Texans. I mean, I don't know, how you can keep him as the coach.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because Arizona isn't having that great of a season. Like Jonathan Gannon's team, they've lost two game-winning field goals as time expired.
Yeah,
Like they've
yeah,
had some issues. Um, they're starting their third string running back, Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, have yet to figure out their chemistry. Like
yeah,
I feel like this is the perfect like get back into it game for Arizona
yeah. I agree.
because
Yeah, they
like
should win
through
this game comfortably.
absolutely. Like you look at the 4 games this season, Tennessee's offense has 5 turnovers and has only made it to the end zone 3 times.
Yeah.
Lowest scoring team in the league.
I mean, was Cam Ward lying though? They are ass.
No, but like he should know better than saying that. Like we don't do media training for rookies. That's not a thing.
He'll learn from that.
He should see Matt LaFleur's media coach because Matt LaFleur will take the blame for the team's issues and be like, "Oh, that's on me. I'm gonna try better next week," and then do the same shit every week and have a beautiful speech after every loss. It's
That's your
crazy to me though that these two teams are the only two teams in the NFL to have fewer than 300 total yards in all 4 games this season. So this is
wow.
going to be a low scoring, ugly game potentially, and I'm sure you're going to love it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be all over it, but I can't pick against the Cardinals here. Cardinals at home. We agree on that one. This
Absolutely.
this game is interesting though. Your Baker Mayfield, the 3-1
Mhm.
Bucks at the 3-1 Seahawks. I'm excited for this one. This is a big game.
It is. And I'm sad about my pick. It's just if the Bucks were coming into this with Mike Evans and with the healthy Bucky Irving, I would absolutely take Tampa Bay. But the Bucks have not won a game without Mike Evans since the start of last season. Every all 4 games he's missed, they've lost. Like that's
Wow.
Baker's guy. They do not win when he's not on the field. Ergo, I cannot pick them.
Well, I don't know. You're playing these mind games with me. I know what you're doing. You're just trying to get me to pick Baker, uh, so that I can beat you with your favorite quarterback. But um, I'm falling for it again because I got Tampa Bay here. The last time I picked Sam Darnold, it bit me in the ass. I'm not a fan of Sam Darnold. He's too inconsistent for my take, but no Bucky Irving is big. The Seahawks are
Hmm.
getting Nick Emanwari back. Um, Kenneth Walker's been going off.
And their defense has been great. They've allowed the second fewest points per game in the league so far.
Yeah, I just think I think this is one of those games where Baker comes through in the clutch. You talk about no Mike Evans, but you know who they didn't have the last year and years before is Emeka Ibuka, and
True,
that
but
dude
think
is a
of how
baller.
much that defense is going to be focused on him, though. Running back number one is out. Receivers number one is out. Like, if your star receiver's out, you turn to the run game. Oh, wait, we can't turn to the run game. Let's go to receiver two. The defense is going to be so focused on him.
Well, you got Chris Godwin, and he should have a better game than last week. And they do have Rashad White, and he's not bad.
Yeah, he's also no Mike Evans, though.
I'm gonna go
I don't know if
Bucks in
not
Seattle.
bad is going to win against this defense that is allowing the third fewest yards per play.
Well, and their defense is a little injury hit though. No DeMarcus Lawrence, no Devin Witherspoon, no Julian Love. So that
Yeah, you
kind of
go ahead and take the Bucks
caveat.
then. Do it. Take the
I
Bucks.
am. I am. I'm taking the Bucks. I can't believe you're not picking your boy Baker Mayfield, and I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to
if he
gain a
had
game
someone to give
on
the
you
fucking ball to, I
because
would take them, but he's got no one to give the
of
ball to.
it. All right, Bucks in Seattle. I'm typing it in now.
You're wild for that one.
Um, all right, let's see if I can convince you to take the Bengals against the Lions here.
No,
Uh, Jake Browning is the man,
absolutely not.
and the Lions are not red hot right now. The Lions are not putting up points at an incredible record.
Um, yeah, the no, it's gonna be rough. I feel like Jake Browning was real excited after that Minnesota game. I feel like he was like, "Yeah, I'm not terrible." Denver was a rough defense to play, and now he has to go play the Lions, or well, I guess the Lions are coming to him, but I I just oof. The Bengals are dead last in total offense. Like I
Yeah,
know Detroit is not known for their defense, but like the Bengals are just they're so bad.
no,
I can't. Ugh, no. They're 30th in defense and dead last in offense. Like what do you think Detroit is terrible? Like is Detroit 0 and 4 and I'm just somehow confused thinking they have 3 wins? Like there's no way in hell the Bengals win this.
no, I agree. The Lions are probably going to put up 40 points on them, and
Yeah.
you know, this Jake Browning this year is not the Jake Browning of 2 years ago.
No, this
Um,
is not 2023 Jake Brady, as I was calling him. Absolutely not.
yeah, they need to make a trade with the Giants. They need Russ. They need to go get Russell Wilson, and because that would be entertaining. Russell Wilson throwing those deep bombs to Chase and Higgins. I would watch that all day.
Yeah,
Um, but not with Jake Browning.
agreed.
And it pains me to pick the Lions, but I guess I have to.
Versus Jake Browning, yeah, I feel like it's fair.
So we disagreed on two so far. Let's look at the 2-2 Commanders at the 3-1 Chargers. Chargers coming off their first loss of the season. The Commanders are getting Jaden Daniels back. Um, no Joe Alt for the Chargers, so their offensive line is beat up, but Derwin James is good to go. Omarion Hampton's been going off. Um, Commanders will again be without Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown, but they will have Debo Samuel. How do you see this one going in LA? I kind of think the Chargers are going to bounce back.
I think so too. And I mean, Jaden Daniels is recovering from a knee injury. Like it wasn't a hand, it wasn't a shoulder. Like his success comes from when he's very mobile. Like
Yeah.
it very much depends on how back he is after this knee injury. Was he almost back last week and they kept him out, or like is he just getting back on the field? Like depends on how rusty that knee feels. I mean, since he came into the league, he's got the second most carries and rushing yards among quarterbacks. Like his scramble percentage is insane. However, if his mobility is limited, I feel like they're not going to be in this game for very long.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna be wearing a knee brace. Um, this game could be competitive, but the Chargers are gonna be pissed off. It really gets down to can the Commanders get pressure on Justin Herbert with Joe Alt out? You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
offensive line is a little banged up, so if Von Miller and Dante Fowler and those guys can get after him, maybe that could play a factor. But Omarion Hampton should be able to do his thing.
I think this is going to be a great back and forth kind of game. We've got
Yeah,
weaknesses for both quarterbacks. Like Joe Alt being out is huge, but then also
yeah,
the knee injury is huge. So I feel like it's going to be close back and forth, but I feel like the Chargers pull it off at home.
yeah. I think so too. Um, so I think they find a way to get that win. And even when Jaden Daniels was healthy the first two games, it's not like the Commanders were firing on all cylinders.
Hmm.
And no Terry McLaurin is a big loss too. So
It's huge. Yeah.
yeah,
Like it's one thing
but
if you've got a mobile quarterback who can't move, but you've got a great wide receiver core out there for deep balls,
yeah,
but he's kind
yeah.
of bit in the butt from both sides there, so that kind of sucks. But I
Any
think the
chance?
Chargers are heated and ready to pull one off at home.
Yeah, we agree on that one. I think the Chargers get that one. Any chance the Bills are at home on Sunday Night Football? They're 4-0. They're wearing their sexy all white cold front jerseys. Any chance they blow it against division rival, the Mike Vrabel led Drake May Patriots? What do you think?
How do you feel about the Patriots run game? Because Buffalo's biggest weakness, their offense is great, but their biggest defense is their 31st ranked run defense, which I know we like Ramondre Stevenson and Trayvon Henderson. They're okay, but they're not good. Like they're
They're
fun to
not
watch.
great.
They've got a lot of spice,
Yeah.
but I don't see them being able to do anything and take advantage of that poor run defense.
Yeah, I think Travion Henderson would have to be the guy. Ramondre Stevenson's had fumble issues, so that's something to keep an eye on.
But think of how much
Um,
confidence they have coming into this one. They put up 42 points last week over the Panthers. Like they're
yeah,
coming into this one with some swagger. So
and I
maybe the
love to
confidence
see
will be enough to overcome
going.
the fumble issues.
Yeah, and going into the season, Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in football. Don't forget, this is the Stephon Diggs revenge game going up against his former team,
Yeah.
and
I could
it,
see them coming in sassy, but
yeah, I think this is going to be a great game. And then the question is it enough? I think it's going to be hard fought, one score game. And it just depends. Is it enough for the Patriots to steal it? A chance, the odds are Buffalo's at home. They're wearing their cold front jerseys. You expect the Bills to come in and take care of business, but division rivalry, you never know, right?
true. And one thing I'm keeping an eye on, Ed Oliver and Matt Milano, they're both questionable from what I've seen. They haven't said if they're playing or not. If they play, I feel like it's absolutely Buffalo's game. If they don't play, that might be something for New England to take advantage of.
Yeah. And they haven't played for a while. I don't know if they've played yet this year. Maybe not since week one.
Yeah, week one was
So,
their last game that they both played in.
yeah.
But McDermott was saying they looked great this week, extremely competitive. They're practicing every day. It'll be good to have them back out there if they can play, but I have not seen an official call about whether or not they're playing.
Yeah, and for the Patriots, Carlton Davis and Milton Williams are both questionable as well. So it's going to be interesting of these four if any of them end up playing.
Hmm. I think I
So,
gotta roll with Buffalo here because they're the stronger team overall. But knowing Buffalo's run defense is that poor, it would be a great opportunity for the Patriots to take advantage of that and have a bounce back game on the ground.
well, this is going to be fun because we haven't picked against each other much this week. What we disagree on two so far.
Yep, just two.
So,
But
and
you
it's
can
Sunday
take
Night
Jacksonville
Football.
over Kansas City.
Maybe we'll talk about that one here in a second, but just for some fun, and I like the Patriots coming into the season. I wanted my Bears to hire Mike Vrabel. It's a Stephon Diggs revenge game. Fuck it, give me the Patriots in Buffalo. This is gonna be a fun game, and I wanna be ready to watch this game. So let's go Patriots.
All right. I'll be home for that one, so
I
I'll be ready to
know
talk
you'll be
shit when they
talking
lose by
shit.
20.
Yeah. And then the Monday night game is awesome. I can't wait for the Chiefs at the Jags, and this is a big prove it game for both teams here.
Yeah, the Chiefs have been such an interesting ride the past two seasons. Like, how many times last season did we message like, wait, does Patrick Mahomes suck now? Like, we
Yeah,
had our eyes on some of their issues, and they still pulled off a lot of wins. They still pulled together a season, but there were definitely some areas where they had weaknesses, and teams have learned how to exploit them. I mean, they're 2-2 now, um, and they're facing their best running back that they faced so far this season, and that's not to say anything negative about Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, but neither one of them had a great game coming into their matchup with the Chiefs. So Travis Etienne is going to be the best statistical running back that they've faced so far this season. And I mean this Jaguars offense, 394 rushing yards from one running back is crazy.
yeah. They've been they've been quietly very good this year. Like on both sides of the ball, the defense as well. People
We
are
thought they would be this good last year. Like we're
yeah,
looking at the talent they had on that team. They should have been sitting at 3-1 going into week 5 last season.
yeah. And I feel
Right.
like Trevor Lawrence is playing a lot better football, and the roster around him is playing very complimentary to him as well. So, but the Kansas City has looked a lot better since getting Xavier Worthy back. So I mean, this is going to be an eye-opening game, regardless of
Hmm.
how it ends up.
Yeah, I'm super on the fence about this one because I don't trust Patrick Mahomes, but I also cannot ever like confidently bet against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes together. And then
Yeah,
I have been like watching the cornerback Jordan Lewis that the Jags have against these Chiefs wide receivers. If you look at their historical matchups, he has been very good against wide receivers, and I feel like his coverage, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, wherever they have him lined up, I feel like he's gonna be a complete knockout corner against them in this game. But
yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna go. I feel like the Chiefs are getting kind of embarrassed. They're not comfortable at 500.
No, after starting 0-2, they've got things rolling positively.
Xavier
But
Worthy put so much energy back in that offense with his appearance last week.
yeah, but it's hard to say. Was last week's 37 points against the Ravens, was that the Chiefs' offense being all the way back? Or is that just how bad the Ravens' defense is, you know?
Well, I mean, dead last in defense. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like I have to take the Chiefs because of the momentum that they've pulled together with last week's game and how good
yeah.
they looked with Xavier Worthy in the lineup. But I would not be shocked if the Jags pulled this one off.
Yeah, it's head versus heart. Your head says go with the Chiefs who have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and proven winner against a Jags team who has snuck up on everybody here and is a lot more competitive and hopeful than a lot of
Mhm.
people thought. And you know me, I like to go with my heart over my head a lot. So give me the Jags at home here. It's just going to make Monday night a lot of fun and a lot more interesting too.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to talk shit about this one if the Jags pull it off because like the the Chiefs defensive front is 31st in stopping the run.
Yeah, that's going to be key.
And then that Jags offense, I mean, their offensive line has been uh, best or second best every week so far this season
Yeah.
in stopping the run. So it's going to be interesting. They're so opposite of each other in their strengths and their weaknesses. So I feel like it's going to be a fun back and forth one that could really go either way. But that being said, I will stick with the Chiefs just to be obtuse so we can have a different one there. So we've
Yeah.
got four off of each other. It's been an interesting season so far, guys. I only have a 3-game lead, so that's basically a loss for me because, being that close to Alex is obviously concerning. Um, that's
You're
why Abe said
probably
he was
going to
like, "Oh,
be
look at this NFL season. Obviously, there's something wrong if you're that close in picks."
that was
Correct.
funny. That was awesome.
Nailed it on
You're
the head.
you're probably going to be up 6 games after this week, and I'm going to be pissed off. But if
But you
I
know
can
what? I'm gonna be rooting for your picks though. Like
yeah.
I'm rooting for the Bucks. I'm rooting for Jacksonville. So I might be okay with that.
I know one game you won't be rooting for is Patriots Bills, and that's just going to be fun.
No, absolutely not. Not Buffalo in the all white. If they don't win, I'm gonna be mad.
If I can get one thing this week on Monday Night Football, if I can get one thing, all I want, I mean, of course the Jags win, but I want a Travis Hunter pick six off of Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. But this is going to be a fun week. Both of our teams are on a bye, so we can just sit back,
And it's so
carefree, and
relaxing.
yeah, enjoy
I
some
love that
good
they did
football.
that. Like my
Yeah.
weekend away, they were like, "Hey, this is the weekend we're doing it." And I was like, "Oh, awesome!" And then I didn't even realize until about a week and a half ago. I was like, "Oh wait, the Packers don't even play. I got a weekend of unemotional football. It's gonna be great."
You say that, but you're going to be plenty emotional on Sunday
I
night
know.
in that
But at least I
Bucks
don't have to
game
worry about
too.
my stupid team fucking tying again, guys. It's a nice break. Being a Packers fan is not for the faint of heart, I swear. Always some drama, man.
Yeah, you don't know drama until you're a Bears fan and you're missing kicks and
Okay, but that's
double
not
donkey
drama.
in the
Like, oh, you
playoffs.
suck. Again, that's just what you expect. Packers, we get excited, we start doing well, we get our hopes up, like there's magic, and then some dumb shit happens, like we tie the freaking Cowboys.
Well, thanks, Amanda, for making time to come on the show despite you being on vacation and looking forward to a great weekend of football. Can't wait. But great stuff as always.
Well, I will always make time to come on when possible, but we appreciate our listeners, and I know you guys would get bored to death of just listening to Alex make his terrible picks by himself. So obviously, I had to, come set him straight about a couple things to keep our listeners entertained.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a fun week 5. We appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think, and if you agree with our picks or disagree, or however that goes. And have a great week, guys. Peace out.